Welcome back to another episode of Khantehnt.
Khantehnt!
And another episode of Chainsaw Man. And let me tell you, this episode features a real bombshell. Join us on subscribestar.com/Khantehnt for more epic memery, $10 bonus episodes. Khantehnt! Chapters 41 to 52, Chainsaw Man. Here we are.
This is sort of just one arc. It's probably the most like well-defined little like pocket story in the show.
I've been told it's the most popular story in all of Chainsaw Man as well.
Interesting. I don't know if it's my favorite part because I mean the stuff that happened in the last episode was absolutely insane and some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. This was still great. But like, would I say this was a better arc than that? I think this was an interesting like microcosm of the bigger arc of like what Denji's going through with Makima. Like, sort of a way to let him like I guess explore the relationship that he has with her without having to have like a whole part where they have a relationship, you know, like a normal one. By having this other character who's exactly like her and has the same problems, and but like they get to date. And then she dies.
Yeah, this section I think is the most like normal shonen trope section of like love interest arc with girl, and there are insane bits in there that I like, but since I came to Chainsaw Man primarily for the insanity, and that like yes, there's a lot of murder and people blowing up and oh, it's horrific, but like this is like a kind of a normal love story going in that I have seen before, so it didn't like blow my mind. And you've probably seen in the comments, a lot of people are calling Rese best girl. Whoa, it's time for best girl arc. I'm not reading Chainsaw Man for yet another disposable waifu. I'm reading it because it's cool and different and interesting.
Yeah, it's explosive.
It is explosive.
It really, you know, it really shakes the earth.
It really blows your mind, as they say.
I think you just said that. I think you just...
Well, okay, let's just get into it. So I'm not trying to say it was bad. It was good, and here's why. Because picking up off the last chapters, we get this thing where Denji was like, whoa, am I gonna fall in love with this girl who was nice to me a little bit? Yeah. Short answer is yes. Of course. And I think in the first chapter or two, he finds himself coming back to the store regularly because he wants to hang out with the girl. Yeah. And that's just his excuse. And I guess really they just slowly over a chapter or two just like develop a little relationship. Right. And she does things like find out that he's not going to school. And this is kind of the undercurrent. She's saying to him like, hey, you're 16. I think she's a year older than me, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you are not going to school, you're working as a devil hunter, putting your life in danger, and like you're satisfied with that. So she's kind of articulating what we've been saying, that Denji sure is satisfied with the absolute bare essentials of life.
She literally points out to him like 3 meals a day is like normal. Like that should be bare minimum, you should have more. I was kind of wondering if she was going to offer him, I don't know, like some kind of safe, because she says like run away with me, and she's presenting this as like this is the safe option of how you could live your life compared to what you're doing. Like,
that's the
does she have a lot of money? What makes this the safe option is what I'm wondering. Like,
well, that's a fair question as to the details of that. I think the details don't matter so much as the fact that metaphorically plays into this Aesop fable undercurrent thing about the field mouse, which to sum it up, I guess this is an Aesop fable, I've never heard it before, of there are 2 mice. One is the city mouse and one is the country mouse. The city mouse lives in the city and has the opportunity to eat delicious food, but it has a high risk of dying, being eaten by a cat, etc. And the country mouse gets to live in safety, but with a more mediocre existence of less deliciousness. And every character through all of Chainsaw Man, everyone says, we all want to be the country mouse who lives more safely, with the sole exception of Denji, who's like, fuck it, I want to live fast, baby, and get the delicious food, which reflects his attitude about life, just being delighted to get good stuff and thinking his life is like disposable and not valuable.
I guess the Makima doesn't prefer to be the country mouse. She just appreciates the existence of country mice because it's fun to watch them get exterminated, I guess.
She really pulled a Lelouch like illegal chess move on the it's
On the
it's a
metaphor.
2-answer question, Makima. You can't say, I would change the game and would.
Yeah.
All right, it's one of those.
Well, she
but-
wants to be the town mouse, but she's happy to watch the country mouse get eaten so she can be like, I'm such a cool town
Man,
mouse.
whatever. Fuck
Like,
this
something
metaphor.
like that.
It's obvious what they're doing with it because this whole arc, okay, just to break it down, is a choice between Denji running away with Rese after she woos him to like escape this crazy life of being Chainsaw Man and fighting devils and stuff.
Crazy life of being.
I mean,
Chainsaw. Yeah,
it's pretty
it is.
crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like Devil May Cry level party getting crazy.
It
up
is.
in that piece.
Other option is stay, which I guess you could generously call like the Makima option, and like stay with Makima, and this party will in fact get crazy, but it'll like be cooler, maybe.
Man, I just want to point out, we were talking about this getting an anime adaptation and like how many episodes would be necessary. Some people in the comments are saying maybe only 26. This was like 12 chapters that I think would be 2 or 3 episodes.
I agree, yeah.
And it's because the action scenes get completely insane. And like the action throughout this manga has all been tight and cool, but like the scale of it gets out of control. Just the weirdness of what's happening, the types of violence. Like where there's this one monster that's like a giant baby with half a head that's full of intestines, and so when he kills it, it's just like a building spilling out of intestines onto the street, basically. Like, just a massive amount of intestines. All kinds of crazy fucking violent shit in cool moments. It reminded me a lot of Blame. You ever read the manga Blame?
Don't know it.
Or anything by Tsutomu Nihei, who drew that, who's like, his manga tend to have very little dialogue and just tons of crazy action, and characters that kind of look like Bomb Girl in her bomb mode.
Rese.
Yeah, but particularly when she's in Bomb Demon form,
yeah.
which is fucking awesome. Just awesome design. All the fucking demons have the coolest designs in this manga.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the fights, it was kind of a thing where, because I'm reading this quickly to talk about it on the show, I was kind of like, wow, this is a lot of cool images of people fighting, but like, will there be anything for me to say anything about for the show? You know, where is there is like maybe a chapter or two of like basically not really narrative, just people beating the shit out of each other and crazy fucking shit happening, which is awesome.
Well, I mean,
and I don't have a problem with it.
yeah, you're right. I'd say this section is pretty narratively thin, and I think people are resonating with because it's like emotionally hooking. Yeah. They like seeing Denji have like a real connection with a girl. Okay, it wasn't a real connection, as it turns out. But in the end, it turns into one, as it usually happens.
Because I remember even before, on our last recording, saying that like as soon as this girl showed up, it was suspicious that she was
We both said that immediately.
overly perfect, and like throughout the arc, she just always does the exactly right thing to be like a romantic movie character. Like, she is this bubbly pixie girl who takes him skinny dipping in a pool and shows him nudity for the first time. And what I do like about the way this character is handled is that like, we got her naked right here, right? Like,
yeah, right on the cover.
There's nothing like super exceptional about her body, like the way Makima's got big ass titties and everything, and like is actually sexy. It's the way that she's drawn and posed, is that she's always trying to look hot. Like every single thing she does. And so when you key in on that, and the fact that eventually you learn, like, yes, she literally says, every single movement I made was calculated. I was always just trying to be like super flirtatious, trying to reel you in. And she does a good job of it. But in the end, like, he's the kind of guy who's like, the switch for him between like someone who I'm in love with and someone who wants to kill me is being flipped like all day, every day anyways. Mm-hmm. So his reaction to that is kind of like, he ends up sparing her in the end. Like, he just kind of, he offers to her, you run away with me. And she's like, no, I'm just going to go, I don't know, try to live, die, whatever. She ends up getting killed by Makima. But, like, I just thought it was interesting that, like, when you look at the macrocosm of his relationship with her, like, what all of this is meant to suggest is, like, she's telling him, hey, you're a fucking moron. You're such an easy target. Like, I manipulated you all this time. I'm still manipulating you even now just to turn the tables on you, to keep, like, bringing it home to you again and again, this thing. And, like, in the end, maybe she might have had some kind of real feelings for him or not. Probably not.
Well, you know, at the end, so there's a scene I enjoy where the first time we see her in the first section of this chapter 41, there's a scene of her saying, "Hey Denji, meet me at this cafe," and we see her walking to the cafe. I compared the manga panels of her walking to the cafe there are exactly the same as in chapter 52 at the end when she's also walking back to meet Denji's invitation to run away together. And they're doing the thing of, like, she's blushing, she's smiling as she sees it. It certainly is implied heavily that she was going to run away with Denji, except for the fact that Makima didn't allow that to happen and she stopped them.
So she was actually going to go off with them.
We can't read her mind. It looks that way.
Okay. So this is meant for us. If we're on team her and Makima murders her, then you're definitely gonna be like, oh, this is the bitch now.
I think that's the implication. That it's at this point we're supposed to say, okay, now Makima is actively standing in the way of Denji's happiness as just a human being. So we're seeing like how she is treating him like a true tool.
That's just accepting that, you know, that her manipulation is somehow worse than the other girls. Like, because you know, even if she does run off with Denji, like, ultimately, why does Denji want to run off with her? Because she's just really good at being hot? Like it's still, there's always some kind of, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think people are really hooked into, like, the emotions of this. For me, frankly, I've read a lot of stories that went this way, where there's, like, a girl who, oh, she really likes you, oh, she didn't, but then at the end she grows to really like you. I don't want to shit on people for liking this section. Like, if this is your favorite part of Chainsaw Man, then you have different priorities than I when reading Chainsaw Man. Because I like this, but my favorite part is the crazy parts. Like, for example, or I don't know, like the bigger lore stuff. For example, Bomb Girl it's at one point stated that she is, quote, Gun Devil's partner. Now, partner is a strong word to use here. And also when she, okay, there's a scene when we first learn that she's more than she appears. There is a crazy psycho killer who's partnered with the Typhoon Devil who is he has this backstory of like, yeah, I do this thing when I'm trying to take down a target because I'm an assassin where I skin their close friends and family and then I show them that. And usually once I show them that, they do what I tell them. Yeah. So that's my plan here against against Chainsaw Man. But when he goes to do that to Rese, we find out, oh, she's actually a kick-ass, like, crazy Russian super soldier.
Definitely based on No Country for Old Men. The scene where what's his name, like, strangles a guy right at the start. Yeah, Anton Chekhov, is that his name?
Something like that.
That's surely someone else. That's another Russian guy that we're confusing. But yeah, no, he strangles this dude to death, and he's just like dead-eyed staring at the ceiling, and like it's portrayed almost the same way.
And she's singing like a Russian song, which we don't know why she's doing that at this point, but we find out later she was a Russian super soldier trained from childhood. And you know, this show plays it a little loose. She clearly was a human child, so I think she is not literally the Bomb Devil. I think she is a Chainsaw Man type Bomb Devil person. Oh, okay, that's fine. Anyway, like that scene is really cool, and you know, after that point we've learned that, okay, there's way more to her than we thought. She's gonna be a scary person. And they also say that, like, she is the partner of the Gun Devil. And again, I want to look at, like, the Japanese text, because partner is a strong word. Are we implying that she's, like, on equal footing with the Gun Devil, that they know each other? What does that word partner mean? Or was it just, like, an English translation that maybe implies more than it should, that she just, like, knows him or something? I don't know. But we've got another connection, I guess, to the Gun Devil that will play off in the future.
We are told explicitly that the reason that we know about this connection is not to be stated. Like, Shark Devil knows that she's Gun Devil's partner, right, but Makima told him not to tell them why he knows that.
Right.
So that's just one more reason Makima's suspicious, I guess.
And on the subject of Shark Devil, it looks like he's like way into the Chainsaw Man thing. He seems to, like, he keeps calling him Master. It seems like he knew, like, the previous Chainsaw Man or something. That's what I read into that. Maybe you know, that's too far or whatever, but that seems to be the implication. But I mean, when we finally get the big emotional moment where Makima invites Denji to go see the fireworks, and they smooch, they do a big smooch into the fireworks.
Not Makima, the other.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, Rese, Bomb Girl. and she, while they're kissing, bites off his tongue.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
And does a big like tongue ahegao face. Boys, get you a girl who can do one of these. That was a good scene. I wondered if that was like a parody of ahegao faces, because I don't know, it just looked a little bit like to me. I don't know. Put a Belle Delphine picture on here for comparison. I don't know. Anyway, it just and then from then on, it's just fighting. Like the rest of the night is a giant fight. Oh my God! Like Chainsaw Man gets fucked up, but is saved by the Shark Devil. We get chased down. We spend a little time with because we're the 4th division of public security, whatever. We meet the 2nd division that are mostly normal humans who are contracted with various other devils, like the Fox Devil and other people. They all die, as far as we can tell, so there's a reason why the 4th division survives.
They only ever introduce other demon hunters so they can die.
Yeah. I thought they were going to be cool for a second.
Some of them got some like decent action before they died, but like Bomb Devil shows up tearing her own fucking head off, throwing it into
I love
doors
her,
and shit.
Pulls the neck thing and her head explodes.
That's the coolest shit I've ever seen.
That's a great way to do that character.
I really loved that, like, just like how the character, up until she becomes Bomb Devil, is like very deliberately like always trying to be like flirty and posy. Once she is Bomb Devil, it's like a whole different kind of always posing and looking hot. Mm-hmm. Like she goes from like flirty, haha, I'm the cute high school girl, to like
femme fatale
just
kind of,
well, like just crazy like bad warrior, like maybe more comic book almost, like the way that like a X-23 or something would fight, or just like she's a child soldier type thing. So it's like simultaneously like sexy, but also like she's not wearing like leather, but she's got like some kind of like, it's skin tight on the top, and then on the bottom is just like open flowing, so she can be like naked the entire time. Yeah. This manga is fucking fun as hell, and I was thinking about like the fact that the characters kind of embody the idea of like what that thing, like a bomb, suddenly goes off and explodes in your face, and that's how this character's involvement in the story is like she was a ticking time bomb basically, and then she blows up. Chainsaws are like the most just like fun violence. Like it's just it's just gonna be a big splattering, insane fucking gore fest. So like I like that the manga, despite being like kind of cool in tone and having that Bleach like pouty atmosphere to some degree, like ultimately it's trying to have as much fun and just be like as over the top crazy violent as possible, and
it's like when
it does it so well.
It does. When Aki, the Sasuke of the series, is on screen, it's like a noir, like demon hunting, I must get vengeance. When like it's Denji's time, then it's insane madness, and I mean it balances it really well. It works very well. Shout out to probably the best little section in this, which was the embodiment of the craziness that I love so well, is when Typhoon and Bomb have teamed up. They're like, Miss Typhoon, I'm gonna fight with you. We're gonna take down Chainsaw Man and the Shark Devil who's fighting with him. But the Bomb Devil has been giving Denji like, you're a fool, Denji. You're not using your power the right way. You need to learn how to actually use your power. And all the characters like, whoa. He's probably going to use the... Sharkman says, Master, which is why I think he knew the old one, used to fling his chains and use them to swing around like Spider-Man really fast. You could do that too. This is how you could move around fast. But Denji's interpretation of this is, of course, use my chains to move faster? I will use them as reins on the Shark Devil and just fucking rip his face apart. Because that is the logical way to move faster.
I thought it was really interesting that I guess he just kind of decided, this guy is my lapdog, so I'm just going to treat him like one. I
don't think it was even out of disrespect. I think he just thought this was objectively the best
The way that
plan.
he's almost like antagonizing him as he's doing it though. He's like telling him like, yeah, he says like, I'm going to rein you in or something, like I'm going to train you to fight, like. The Shark Devil keeps going like, no, please don't do this. And he's like, fuck you. This is how we're doing it.
He comes around in the end. Was it any practical benefit? I mean, the
well
setup
trained is what that is.
See, the setup here is you think that the shonen thing is going to happen where the character develops like a new power for like Luffy learning Gear Second is about to happen and he's going to be able to move really fast. But he just does a
No,
retarded thing.
Yeah, it's just completely
That is
insane.
way funnier.
Well, it's because it leads to a kaiju battle, as
Yeah.
somebody points out. So
Yeah.
that's what the point was, so we could have a kaiju battle.
So I'm glad it happened.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately that fight happens. It was great. Like, there's a thought of like Denji defeats the Bomb Devil. How does he defeat her? He wraps around the chains around her after like he gets his arms cut off. He actually see they pay this off because she does accurately cut off his arms with explosions, but he uses the chains to like hold his arms to himself. So he is actually learning. So we get the little shonen payoff to the power level stuff. But he wraps her around him, holds her to him, and then he falls into the water, presumably where she can't explode because there's, you're wet and gunpowder can't blow. And then they wash up on an island, have their whole emotional ending to the fight. So like, I guess Denji won. Maybe he put her in a situation by wrapping her that if she exploded, she would also die. But then again, this woman explodes her head constantly. Yeah. It makes me think that like she could have blown herself up while attached to him, and she would have won, but he caught her so off guard with his insanity. It's the madness that won the battle, as always should be the case.
Always is in this manga. And yeah, like, it was a clever idea to have Bomb can't work in water, so I'm gonna drown her. And then, it's like when we were in the pool together.
Emotional catharsis payoff. She taught him to swim. He uses that against her. Yeah. So this is really the arc where, like, a more experienced man, devil, devil man is a different thing. There is no term for what Denji is. So I wish that it would give us a term for it. Whatever, a half demon, whatever thing.
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. He is evolving and growing and like learning new skills here, which is good because we're getting into the latter half of Chainsaw Man after this, and we're probably gonna need to escalate power levels a bit, which we certainly get with the big kaiju battle. So, I mean, in the final conclusion of like the emotional arc between these two characters, I thought it was well executed. There were moments I liked very much. But I kind of am just hungry for like more madness, because that's my favorite part. I'm looking forward to like the more craziness stuff. The emotional arc worked, but didn't blow me away, I guess is where I arrived with it.
I liked the bit where she admits, like, I never went to high school either. Like, the whole premise of her argument to him is that, like, oh, we can have a normal life because I'm a normal girl. But it's like, she doesn't actually act like a normal girl. She acts like a too good to be true movie character. And so, like, their whole conception of what they're going to do, of, like, run away together, it's like, these people don't know how to have a normal life. That was never going to happen. She's a super soldier.
I agree.
So,
I bet there's people in the audience who think that, oh no, if Makima hadn't killed her, everything would have worked out great for these people, and they would have lived a happy life out in the countryside. I don't think that's true.
There's Chainsaw Man and the Bomb Demon. Chainsaw Man has people after his heart actively at all times at the behest of the most powerful demon, the Gun Demon. The only thing protecting him is that he's surrounded by all the strongest people, and it's barely protecting him.
I guess this arc...
Come on, people.
You're right. This arc, I think, is, though, to be charitable to those people, it's a dream of what could have been. In some alternate reality, these two could have been, like, they could have married and had kids and been happy together or something, but that's just not the way it is in Chainsaw Man. Although, and the final revelation here of Makima showing up and killing Rese right at the end there, or whose real Russian name was, let me see, Morumoto, the Russian spy or whatever. I thought it was well done. It's characterizing Makima as like the Machiavellian, semi-evil, or at least like cutthroat power broker that she is. And there's also some focus given to the Angel Devil, which is really hyping up the Angel Devil as they explicitly state the second most powerful, only behind Master, the big strong guy who trained power and what's his face. And we see the Angel Devil a couple of times in here. Oh, there's actually a great moment during the fight where we know that if you touch the Angel Devil, you lose lifespan.
Right.
Aki, when the Angel Devil's
sacrificing
about to be sucked away,
lifespan once again. Another 2 months.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this same thing happens in another show that we are talking about today, Talentless Nana, which if you haven't seen, you should watch, and watch our coverage of, because I know these get more views than that.
That is true. Go watch that, people. So, I mean, Aki is just his ongoing arc of just losing more and more and more life. I hope that ends well for him, but don't expect it to.
No, probably not.
And by the way, the whole thing of Makima appears in this moment, right before Rese manages to reunite with Denji and live happily ever after, out of a pile of rats. So, like, the metaphor is, okay, the metaphor of the field mouse, country mouse, okay, we're touching on that. Denji doesn't get to live in the country. He's gonna live in the city, whatever. So is Makima the rat devil, or
She's the Rat King devil.
it might be true. I just, whatever she is, it's got to be something that has to do with that. They're obviously being mysterious
Plague
on
devil.
purpose.
Plague's pretty strong.
Plague.
Plague
Yeah,
devil.
I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. But I mean, again, we saw people get like flattened from a distance. How does a plague devil flatten someone from like a Buddhist shrine while
I assume she has multiple powers. Like, can people have multiple powers?
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause,
Like Aki's got a few things going on.
Yep,
so
that's true. That's true.
I would think she's something like that. I'm excited to see where the story goes because, as we talked about before, like the last arc was really heavy and made it feel like we're about to just go into the rest of it. This was like another thing before that, you know, and like again, I think it mostly served to like explore the idea of the relationship that Denji has with Makima without having to have them physically have a relationship or have him like realize outright that she's like. I mean, he knows she's manipulating him. That much is obvious. But, like, to have the whole emotional experience of going through it with this girl first puts him in a better position to identify whatever's happening to him or react or make decisions in the future, you know, with the next one.
That's true, because I touched on this before, but I almost forgot about it. Like, the undercurrent of the whole country mouse, city mouse thing is really to, and, Rese says this repeatedly, Denji, you should expect more from life. So, like, while it's charming that Denji is so excited about the bare minimum, like, it's raising the totally reasonable question that any normal person would ask of, like, am I just being exploited and used and, like, this is not in my best interest? The answers are, like, almost definitely yes. So perhaps this will reach a moment where he questions Makima, and because she's doing some at least questionable things here. Like, if he found out that Makima killed Rese, how would Chainsaw Man respond to this?
I'm thinking in the end we're going to come down to something like basically Makima and Gun Devil are the only people with any real control in this situation, and it's just really a war between the two of them. But then Chainsaw Man's gonna like cut that whole dynamic up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And speaking of the Gun Devil, we already, with our last chapters, we got enough pieces of the Gun Devil to go track it down. It doesn't look like Makima is the Gun Devil, as I was theorizing. That doesn't seem likely at this point.
We're probably going to meet the Gun Devil soon, just going by my sense of how these things play out.
I agree. And Aki's little quest here, he's hanging out with the Angel Devil as his new partner, and Aki needs to, he said, I need to like up my gamer score by killing lots of strong demons, so I am allowed to join the expedition to go kill the Gun Devil. So I see him standing over like what looks like the Pig Devil. He's out there slaying other strong devils, I guess. So it looks like they're putting together a team that's gonna go on this expedition somewhere else.
There's also that other dude who like bombs in and gets some punches in during the fight.
Violence Devil.
That's who that was. Okay, yeah.
He doesn't do much, but he does show up.
He does violence.
Yeah.
Got that one down.
Actually, there's one moment where he kicks Rese, realizes, oh God, that was a serious kick of mine. She's too strong. I'm leaving. So I respect a man who makes a tactical retreat like that.
Good on him.
But I guess, that's where we leave it, pretty much. It's just the whole story of Rese, the little emotional arc, and presumably the Gun Devil expedition will be the next thing that happens, because this whole fight took place over, like, one night. So not a lot of in-game time has passed.
Anton Chigurh is the name of the character.
Chigurh?
Chigurh. That's
Strange.
The name. Not Chekhov. That's a more
Russian
famous
name.
guy, yeah.
I think Anton is Spanish, if I remember correctly. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Khantehnt, everybody. We'll be back with more Chainsaw Man same time next week, so read along, and then we won't spoil you about everything, or just watch if you like to be spoiled by us, because that's also a fun way to consume Khantehnt. Give us money, $10 specifically, on subscribestar.com/Khantehnt.
And then leave like a playlist of the show running at all times when you're not watching it. Like when you're
might
on your computer, just fucking leave it on.
There's no downside.
With your ad blocker off, of course.
Of course. And bonus episodes, $10, you know the drill. Follow us on Twitter for updates and stuff. Go join the Discord down below, where you can talk with people about Khantehnt and whatnot, and leave us some Khantehnt clips so that we can play them at the end of the show, as we love to do. That's it, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.